Welcome to the deep dive, where we cut through the noise and get straight to the insights you need. Think of us as your personal navigators through the world's most interesting information. Today, we're taking a deep dive into the Hyundai Creta 2026. And this isn't just, a surface level car review, it's more of a strategic exploration of what makes this particular SUV a real standout. Our mission. Well, it's to quickly equip you with a thorough understanding of this vehicle. We want to uncover those surprising facts, those aha moments, whether you're maybe prepping for a purchase, catching up on auto trends, or frankly, just insanely curious. And as we get into this, remember, this exploration is really for your benefit. If you find these insights valuable, maybe think about subscribing or sharing it with someone you know who's equally curious. It really helps us keep bringing you these focused analyses.
Precisely. And the Creta 2026, it's a fascinating case study, really. It's not just another model hitting the showrooms. It's a vehicle that seems specifically engineered to meet, well, the really diverse demands of today's market. Everything from urban commuters to young families. It does this by balancing style, tech, and practicality. We'll be digging into how it pulls that off. Our deep dive today, it's based on some comprehensive articles detailing specs, reviews, safety ratings, market position, the works. Gives us a really well-rounded picture.
Okay, let's unpack that first impression then. The Hyundai Creta 2026, it's positioned as this elegant yet economical SUV. It's already super popular in Arab markets, global markets too. It combines that modern design, the advanced tech, and efficient performance. So from the outside, you see this elegant design, flowing lines, those sharp LED lights front and back. Gives it a strong road presence, right? But let's dive inside, because the research suggests the Creta 2026 embraces something they call a Goldilocks philosophy. What exactly does that mean for the cabin experience? Yeah, that Goldilocks idea, it's actually a pretty brilliant market insight. It's not just about looks, it's a strategic choice, hitting that just right spot for broad appeal. Instead of going too extreme, not overly complex or futuristic, but also not like bare bones minimalist Hyundai's blended practical simplicity with renewed aesthetics. The thinking is, most buyers want intuitive comfort, a premium feel that lasts. They've used light dual colors, gray shades, which, even though the dimensions haven't changed from the last model, creates this feeling of spaciousness. It really does. And for that luxurious touch, you'll spot these bronze accents on the screen bezels, the start button, even in the seat stitching, plus ambient lighting. It all works together, creates a calm, modern, very inviting atmosphere inside.
That attention to detail definitely sounds like it makes a difference. But beyond the look and feel, how does it actually deliver on just, everyday practicality and comfort? What specific things stand out for the driver, for the passengers, make it a genuinely livable space?
Right, and that's where the clever design comes in. For instance, the low dashboard and those sleek side pillars. They're not just styling. They genuinely give you excellent road visibility. That's a big confidence booster. And inside, yeah, they focused on comfort. All 5 seats get faux leather right across the trims. Up front, the seats are well padded, and get this, they even have cooling elements. A really nice touch, especially for warmer climates. For rear passengers, good support, plenty of knee and headroom even for taller folks. Good thigh support too. Plus a 2-step recline for the back seats, padded neck supports. Great for longer drives. And the driver gets a power adjustable seat. Makes finding that sweet spot easy.
Okay, so comfort's clearly a big check mark. What about cargo? For families, weekend trips, what kind of space are we talking about?
You get a pretty practical 416 liters in the boot.
Yeah.
That's perfectly suitable for family stuff, day trips, And the nice detail, there's a full-size spare tire tucked under the floor, always reassuring to have that.
That is good to know. Now, I understand the infotainment system is a real highlight. Some are calling it a technological masterpiece. What makes it stand out so much?
Yeah, it's a bold claim, but it's largely accurate. You're looking at dual 10.25-inch screens. One's the touch screen for entertainment, the other's the digital instrument cluster. And they're both integrated seamlessly under this single piece of panoramic glass. Looks very sleek. Crucially, you get wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Makes connecting your phone totally effortless. What's really clever about the digital cluster, though, are things like the dynamic displays for eco, normal, sport modes. They change with your driving mode. And it has this direct blind spot monitoring display. It pops up right there on the driver's screen when you signal. It's just a really intuitive layer of safety and convenience. Stands out.
Okay, we've covered the inside, the tech. Let's shift gears now. From comfort to capability. What's actually under the hood and how does that translate to the driving experience?
Good point. So the Creta 2026 offers 2 main engine options. Each one's kind of tailored for different priorities. First up, there's a 1.5-liter MPI. That's a naturally aspirated engine non-turbo. Makes about 115 horsepower and 144 newton meters of torque. This one's paired with an IVT that's Hyundai's intelligent variable transmission and its front-wheel drive. Then, for those wanting a bit more punch, there's a 1.5-liter turbo SmartStream GDI engine. That one delivers a healthier 160 horsepower and 253 newton meters. It's mated to a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission, the 7DCT, also front-wheel drive.
Right. And how does that feel on the road performance-wise? Are we talking quick acceleration, or is it more of a steady cruiser?
Well, for a compact SUV, the performance is actually quite respectable. Acceleration. You're looking at around 9.7 seconds from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. Top speed, potentially around 185 kilometers. But this brings up that important question, right? Balancing power with practicality. The MPI engine with the IDT. It gives you really smooth, economical shifts, ideal for daily commuting, maximizing fuel efficiency. The turbo with the 7DCT, on the other hand, it provides noticeably quicker shifts, more responsive performance. Better for highway passing, or if you just like a more engaging drive.
And you mentioned fuel efficiency. That's often a huge factor for buyers in this segment. How does the Creta stack up there?
It stacks up really well, actually. The fuel consumption is a genuine highlight for both engine versions. We're talking estimates around 17 to 18 kilometers per liter. That's impressive. Combine that with a 50-liter fuel tank, and it means, fewer trips to the petrol station.
17 to 18 kilometers per liter? Wow, okay. That is seriously impressive, especially with fuel prices being what they are. Almost makes you rethink the cost of those longer road trips, doesn't it? So let's talk ride quality. You mentioned the MPI is smooth. How does the suspension handle different roads?
Right, so the suspension setup is pretty standard for the class. McPherson strut up front, torsion beam at the rear. But the tuning seems spot on. Reviews consistently describe a very comfortable ride, especially good for long journeys and dealing with uneven city streets. The real positives, excellent absorption of bumps, small potholes, that kind of thing. And it feels quiet and stable at higher speeds. Not a lot of cabin vibration, which is nice.
Okay, comfortable, stable. Any downsides to the ride? Any caveats?
Well, to be perfectly transparent, yes. Very sharp, sudden bumps. Think nasty potholes or speed bumps taken too fast. They can cause a bit of a jolt, especially at higher speeds. But honestly, that's a pretty common trade-off in this segment. You're balancing that soft, comfortable ride with enough rigidity for decent handling. It's not really a major flaw, more of a characteristic.
Got it. So it's generally a common compromise then. Not necessarily a point where the Creta drastically falls short compared to rivals in, real-world city driving.
Exactly. To engineer a suspension that smooths out everything perfectly while also being super sharp in corners, that's tough. Usually costs a lot more. For its class, the Creta's comfort level is genuinely competitive. That occasional jolt. It's often more about how bad the road is, not a fundamental issue with the car's setup. It's a pragmatic balance for daily driving.
That definitely puts it into perspective. Okay, comfort, performance covered. Let's pivot to safety. This is paramount for so many buyers. And the Creta has some, fascinating and kind of nuanced crash test results we need to unpack. We saw a global NCAP rating for a basic model in India, 3 stars for adult and child protection, and some criticism about an unstable body shell. But then, an updated version, tested by A's and NCAP, scored a distinguished 5-star rating. That's a huge difference. What's going on there?
Yeah, that discrepancy isn't just a minor detail. It's actually a crucial insight into how Hyundai responds and improves. That initial 3-star rating likely pushed them to do some significant re-engineering work, structurally. The updated Creta 2026, the one that got the 5-star ASEAN NCAP rating, it really reflects a fundamental shift in their safety approach for this model. They've used a stronger foundational structure, more high-tensile steel, reinforced key impact zones like the pillars, the floor, the door roof areas. This directly tackles those earlier concerns about body shell stability. It offers a much stronger proposition for safety-conscious buyers now. That 5-star rating, it's not just a score. It really shows targeted improvement based on feedback and testing.
Okay, that's a really important clarification. A huge leap forward in peace of mind for potential buyers. So what kind of advanced safety systems are we talking about in this updated, safer version?
It's pretty comprehensive, actually. The updated model boasts a solid suite of advanced systems. You've got automatic emergency braking, AEB, and forward collision warning, FCW. Helps prevent front-end collisions. Then there's lane keeping assist, LKA, and lane departure warning, LDW, to help you stay centered in your lane. Blind spot detection is there, plus rear cross traffic collision avoidance assist, RCCA super helpful when backing out of parking spots. And beyond those, you have the standard stuff. Electronic stability control, ESC, ABS, ISOFIX, anchors for child seats, and up to 6 airbags in the higher trim levels. So Yeah, pretty robust safety net overall.
That does sound comprehensive. All right, shifting gears slightly, let's talk about the more practical financial side of things. Ownership. What's the warranty situation like, especially in key markets like the Middle East? And what about pricing and customization options?
Sure, the warranty, particularly in the Middle East, seems quite good. Generally, it's 5 years or 100,000 kilometers, whichever comes first. That covers most parts. And for hybrid components, if they offer a hybrid version in a specific market, that warranty often extends to 8 years or 160,000 kilometers. Pricing naturally varies a lot by region. In Saudi Arabia, it starts around 86,135 sarai. In the UAE, the 2025 model ranged quite a bit, from about 67,000 up to 254,900 AED. The 2026 will likely be in a similar range, maybe slightly higher. Egypt saw the 2025 around 1,500,000 EGP. Globally, the average starting point seems to be around $18,000 USD, which positions it as offering pretty significant value. Customization. You get 5 main trims: GL, GL, Smart, Comfort, and Premium. There's a good range of color options, too, including those stylish two-tone roofs like white with a black roof or red with a black roof. Adds a nice touch. Manufacturing-wise, it's primarily built in India, in Chennai, but they also have production lines in Indonesia and Brazil to meet that global demand.
Okay, value seems strong. But, no car is absolutely perfect. What are some of the potential drawbacks or, let's say, common issues that crop up in reviews, things buyers should be aware of?
That's a fair question. It really highlights the trade-offs you always get. Reviews do point out that the acceleration from the base MPI engine feels, well, average. Some might find it a bit sluggish compared to rivals with turbo options. Sound insulation at higher speeds could be better. You might notice a bit more road and wind noise than in, say, a more premium vehicle. Also, while the design is nice, some interior materials are still hard plastics in places. That can slightly detract from the overall premium feel in certain spots. And, as often happens, the price for the top-tier trims can climb quite a bit, getting closer to the cost of some larger entry-level SUVs. Oh, and while it's primarily a 5-seater, one source mentioned if any version hypothetically had a third row, it would likely be very tight. Just something to note if that configuration ever appears somewhere.
Right, those are definitely points to weigh. But flipping the coin, what are the key advantages, the things that really make it stand out despite those potential cons?
Absolutely. The advantages are numerous and, for many people, quite compelling. That stylish exterior gives it great curb appeal. People like how it looks. The cabin, especially the first and second rows, gets consistent praise for comfort and space. The big, modern infotainment system is a major draw. We talked about that. And the comprehensive safety features in the updated models, that's a huge plus. Excellent fuel efficiency is a clear win for the wallet. And the wide range of color and trim options means you can really personalize it. So yeah, for a lot of buyers, especially considering the overall value, these pros definitely seem to outweigh those noted drawbacks.
Okay, let's zoom out a bit now. Connect this to the bigger picture. How did the Creta evolve into the vehicle we see today, and who is it really competing against in this crowded market? Looking back, its history shows this pattern of rapid adaptation. It launched first in China as the i25 back in 2014, then globally as the Creta in 2015. Then we saw quick additions, more engine choices like the 1.4L turbo, the 2.0L interior upgrades. Key tech like panoramic sunroofs, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto came in by 2019. The second generation, launched around 2020, was a major step. New design, new platform, way more advanced safety features. It feels like a history of continuous, targeted upgrades, not just minor tweaks. Shows Hyundai's listening, right?
Exactly. And this constant evolution brings up that important question. In this absolutely packed, compact SUV market, who are the key rivals that Creta 2026 is really scoring off against? It faces some really stiff competition. Lots of players aiming for that same mix of style, tech, efficiency, and price. Key competitors often mentioned include the Kia Seltos, known for its bold design, roomy interior. The Toyota Rays, more focused on being economical, city-friendly. Nissan Kicks, often praised for its space and tech features. The Honda HR-V brings that Honda reputation for quality, elegant design. And the MG ZS, often seen as a strong value option, good features, long warranty. These are all vying for similar buyers. People compare them closely, often zeroing in on specific features that matter most to them.
That's a tough crowd. And just to give everyone a quick sense of its physical size, put it in perspective, the Creta 2026 is about 4,330 millimeter long, 1,790 millimeters wide, and 1,635 millimeters tall. The wheelbase is 2,610 millimeter, gives it a balanced look, stable footprint. Ground clearance is around 190 millimeters, pretty good for city driving, maybe some light trails, rougher roads. And the weight ranges between about 1,175 and 1,340 kilograms, so a decent balance between feeling robust and keeping fuel efficiency reasonable. So, okay, we've taken a real deep dive into the Hyundai Creta 2026, covered a lot of ground. From that Goldilocks interior philosophy to the nuances in safety ratings and its place in the competitive landscape, we've seen how it really aims to be this blend of style, technology, and economy. Makes it a pretty compelling option for a wide range of buyers, doesn't it? To sort of recap the big takeaways, it's stylish, tech-rich, fuel-efficient, offers significant value, especially in its updated form with those enhanced safety features. Now, naturally, a deep dive like this might spark some specific questions for you listening. Feel free to jot them down. We can always circle back in future discussions or point you towards more resources, like the full review links often found in descriptions or comments.
Absolutely. And ultimately, the Creta 2026 provides a really interesting lens to view a broader trend, in the whole auto industry. This constant push to pack more advanced features, more safety into packages that are still accessible, still affordable, it kind of forces us and you, the buyer, to consider for a vehicle in this popular category, what really makes something well-rounded is that careful balance of looks and practicality may be more important than absolutely acing just one single thing. It's food for thought.
That's a great point to end on. So as we wrap up this deep dive, what key takeaways resonated most with you from our exploration of the Hyundai Creta 2026 today? We've covered a lot, and the goal, as always, is to leave you feeling genuinely well-informed. And hey, to stay up to date with all our new content, and if you're interested in more insights like this, you can follow us on our WhatsApp channel, Cars Press. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and stay curious.